Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about the TenChiJin Ryaku no Maki. Now the TenChiJin translates out as heaven, earth, man. Okay? Many different schools teach this many different ways. Okay? So without doubt, if you see different schools saying, well that's not right, that's not right, this is one of those concepts that many different schools do it many different ways. Okay? Because it really comes down to these are strategies and principles rather than some form of a fixed kata. So it's very important for you guys to know that right off the bat, okay? Now when we look at TenChiJin or Heaven, Earth, Man, what that comes down to is three different sections on a scroll. You have what's called Ten Ryaku no Maki, which is the Heavenly Strategy Scroll, Chi Ryaku no Maki, which is the Earth Strategy Scroll, and then you have Jin Ryaku no Maki, which is the Man Strategy Scroll, okay? You can also, all three of those can also be translated as the strategies of heaven, strategies of earth, and strategies of man. When you deal with each one of these, the scroll itself, you're going to have what's called Tenton Jupppo. Within the Ten Ryaku no Maki, you have Tenton Jupppo, which are the 10 methods of heaven, Chiton Jupppo, which are the 10 methods of earth, and Jinton Jupppo, which are the 10 methods of man. Okay? So each one of those have 10 different methods that you would learn and try to apply towards warfare. In the Tenton Jupppo, right, you have what's called Niton no Jutsu, which is the art of the sun, using the sun. Geton no Jutsu, which is the art of using the moon. Seitan no Jutsu, which is the art of using the stars, astrology. Untan no Jutsu, which is the art of using the clouds. Mutan no Jutsu is the art of using fog. Raitan no Jutsu, it's the art of using thunder. Denton no Jutsu, it's the art of using lightning. Futan no Jutsu, it's the art of using the wind. Utan no Jutsu is the art of using rain. And Seton no Jutsu is the art of using snow. So what does that really come down to? When we look at that, those particular, all that technique, what does that really come down to? All of those things, we talk about a heavenly strategy scroll, all of those things has come from the heavens. Let's go back 500 years. All those things I just said comes from the gods. It comes from the heavens. So you're using something that comes from the gods to your advantage. The lightning, the thunder, the clouds, the astrology, all that kind of thing. Okay? So that's kind of this, it's the idea within the, what do you call it, the Tenton Jupppo, right? Or the Ten Ryaku no Maki is to be able to use that. From a ninjutsu perspective, you can't, there's so much to be learned when it comes to astrology. What is the moon phases in ninjutsu is a big deal. Looking at the stars is a big deal. Tracking at night, moving at night, traveling at night. All these things are pretty major, and all that concept of the stars and the moon and all that is all found in that particular scroll, okay, of the Ten Ryaku no Maki, okay? All right, the next one we're going to look at now is the next one down. It's called the Chi Ryaku no Maki. Now the Chi Ryaku no Maki, those techniques are called Chiton Jupppo, and those 10 methods are going to be Mokutan no Jutsu, or the art of using wood, Sotan no Jutsu, the art of using grass, Katan no Jutsu, the art of using fire, Entan no Jutsu, the art of using smoke, Dotan no Jutsu, the art of using earth or soil, Okutan no Jutsu, the art of using the roof or houses in general, but it typically means the roofs of houses. Kintan no Jutsu is the art of using metal. Seton no Jutsu is the art of using stones or rocks. Suitan no Jutsu is the art of using water. Yutan no Jutsu is the art of using hot water or steam. And I know a lot of times people talk about, well, isn't hot water water? It is, but there's a different feel from an element of using just regular water when you're swimming through a moat and you're trying to get into the castle, or you're traveling through a waterway, or you're using water, whether you're using poisonous waters or whatever. There's a big difference between that and there's using hot boiling water that can actually cause pain. I'm sure you guys have seen lots of times, even in European day, didn't they use boiling water and boiling oil down the side of a castle just to burn the shit out of people who's trying to climb up? So that's a completely different element right there when you're adding that concept. So that's why they have Suitan no Jutsu and Yutan no Jutsu to kind of separate that. The next one we're going to look at is called Jin Ryaku no Maki, which is the strategy of man. Okay? And again, that particular section would be called Jinton Jupppo. And we would have Dantan no Jitsu, which is the art of using men. Jotan no Jitsu, the art of using women. Rotan no Jitsu, the art of using the elderly. Yotan no Jitsu, the art of using the young. Kintan no Jitsu, that would be like the art of using aristocrats or a different different social class, right? Bitan no Jitsu, the art of using the poor. Kentan no Jitsu, the art of using birds. Jutan no Jitsu, the art of using wild animals, horses, etc., etc. Chutan no Jitsu, the art of using reptiles and insects, toads and crickets and stuff like that. And then Gyotan no Jitsu, which is the art of using fish. Now each one of those concepts, this Jinton Jupppo, right, or this Jin Ryaku no Maki, if you look at that, and you look at modern warfare, that makes a big, big, big difference. Look at all the things we see where a lot of times you'll see this country in war with this country, but this country says, well, we're not going to fight, we're not going to attack if there's women in this certain place. Well, if this side knows that they're not going to get shot if they just, have a bunch of women with them, then naturally that's the use of using women. Or young kids, you have a young kid that walks up to somebody, and this is a warring time, and that young kid might be walking up to a soldier on the other side and say, hey, I need some help. And that soldier goes to give him help, but he's got bombs strapped to his chest. I mean, we're talking about warfare, do you know what I mean? So these are still concepts that's used today. They're still used today. Think about the concept of using insects. What happens when I walk next to crickets? It becomes quiet. So if you're a scout, if you're supposed to be scouting your area, and you're a samurai, and you're out there and you're just listening, and all you hear is cricket, 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 and all of a sudden, nothing. Something's out there, right? The art of using birds. What happens when you're through the woods, and there's birds out there, and you take a step? What happens to those birds? So if you're a samurai, and you're out there guarding your area, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, you see birds going everywhere, that is a red flag. There could be someone there. Could be big game too. It could be, an animal. Could be someone, could be shinobi or a ninja or something like that. So these are all concepts that have to be learned when you're studying the art. And without doubt, the TenChiJin is a major aspect of how we need to train.